Okay, here's today's project. You guys remember my truck, 2011 Dodge 3500. What I'm going to do today is I'm going to add a 2-inch suspension lift to the front of it because the nose of the Dodges are just a little bit too low, and I think it's going to give it a better look. I'm hoping that it doesn't go too high and make the back end look kind of low. If that's the case, I'll just get a lift for the back, maybe a 1-inch for the back to level it out. But here's a before picture of it, or video. I'll take some dimensions of you know, how high the I guess front bumper or wheel well is, and front and back, and see how it changes. But anyways, I'll get the thing all set up and we'll go through the instructions one step at a time and see how easy it goes. Okay, here we go. Here's the front. If I measure down, I'm gonna go right to that bumper there. It's the front wraparound. I'm about 32¼ inches. That'll be my before on the front, and let's go in the back to the very tail of it here. In the back, even with the light, figure 39 inches. So that should that's our before. Actually, here's my dog too, everybody. I'll have to do a video of that also. But here's Mac, English Bulldog. But anyways, back to the truck. That'll be another video, I'm sure. Alright, well, here's the kit that I bought online. The manufacturer is Hellbent Steel. I'll give them a plug so far. What it consists of is just 2 of these 2-inch spacers, different nuts for the top here, I'm sure, and they also gave me one of their stickers, I guess, if you want to put on your truck to, I guess, advertise for them, I suppose. But anyways, and a full set of instructions, and those spacers are gonna go under the truck here on top of the coil spring. We're gonna take off the top here, I believe, mark the springs, drop the axle down a little bit, I suppose, take out the shock, and put the spacer in, bolt it in, and then reassemble. Alright, step number 1, they're saying to, I guess, secure the vehicle, so they want to block the rear wheels, jack up the front, place jack stands on the frame, and then remove the front tires. So let's do that real quick. Alright, the front tires are off, jack stands are under there. I'm hoping I'm hoping that I'm high enough with it when I go to drop that axle down. We'll find out. If not, we'll adjust it. Now it says to make a mark on the coil spring, and also another mark, I'm assuming, on this spot. So when you put it back together, the coil spring goes back in the same exact location. Alright, now it's calling to remove this top nut, the retaining washer, and the rubber grommet on top of this shock tower. So let's get in there and do it right now. Alright, I removed the shock stud mount, the retaining washer, and the rubber grommet from the shock tower. Now it wants me to remove these 3 nuts here for the flange, so on both drivers and passenger. So let me get that done. Alright, I removed the top piece of this, the shock mount flange, I guess you can call it. It wasn't too bad. I was able to get to the nuts from the fender well inside the tire well. Next step now, I guess they're saying to remove the nut for the shocks, for the lower shock nut. On both the shocks removed on both sides. You can see it up in here. It's getting a little dark out. Now it just says lower the front axle, and the tension should come off this coil spring. And we're gonna, I guess, remove the spacer up here and discard it. It says, and replace it with my 2-inch, I guess you can say, extender. Let's drop the axle and see what happens. Alright, here we are, a couple of hours into it. It's a lot more difficult than I thought, but then again, if I had the right tools, it'd be a lot easier. What I ended up doing, which is a lifesaver, I went to Harbor Freight and I picked up these coil spring compressors. I know they're a little bit small for this spring, but it worked, and I made it a lot easier because it was tight. But anyways, the 2-inch spacer is in, the shock is in. I'm going to put that cone up on top for the shock support, and put the front end back together that I took apart. Like I said, it's a big job, bigger than I thought. So let me get this shock together, and we'll take it from there. Alright guys, we're all set. Sunday morning now. Actually, that job yesterday, putting those spacers in, I finished up last night, Saturday, actually be Sunday morning, 1 in the morning. It was, took a lot longer than I thought. It was, I guess if you had the right tools too, it'd be a lot easier. But this is a spacer right here. You can see, it's a 2-inch from here to here. But it's all done, put together. And real quick here, I remember we had 32¼ inches. Let me put this. 1 second, let's check this out. It was 32¼ Here we go. About 34¼ So that is definitely 2 inches taller there. And on the back, we're getting a measurement of, there it is, about 38 inches. 38. Looking at my cheat sheet here, 38 in the back, and we were 39, so that makes sense. So if the front end went up a hair, the back end's got to come down a little bit. This is the end product right here. It's finished. The front end does look a lot better. What I may do though, I may put like a 1-inch lift in the back just to bring it up a little bit, just a hair. I think it needs it. It's a little bit low looking, so let me do some research. But I guess in a nutshell, it's Hellbent Steel was the manufacturer of the kit. I really can't complain about it. It went on perfect, just like their instructions were saying. Would I recommend to buy from them? Absolutely. Would I recommend doing it yourself? If you have the right tools, yes. If you don't have the right tools for it, it's a pain in the neck. You know, it was a lot of work. But anyways, it's done. So I look for a 1-inch spacer for the back, and hey, thanks for watching.